We did it before and let's do it again. Let's take the Digidestined from Digimon Adventure 02 and turn them into gym leaders. Hey everyone, Brandon here. So you guys loved Karn and I's last video where we gave the Digidestined gym leader teams and wanted more, so here we are. But I can't help but feel like something's missing. Oh yeah.
Huh? Oh, this again! You have got to stop summoning me through portals.
Hey Karn, want to do this whole gym leader thing again?
Well, I was about to head to my Arukenimon support group, Arukenimon Anonymous. You think you could take this one on your own?
Oh, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Awesome, and I will be giving the Johto gym leaders Digimon partners over on my channel, and next time, we'll do it together.
Sounds good. Well, have fun. Well, I guess we're riding solo today. But make sure to go check out Karn's video over on his channel. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep up to date with future videos on this channel. So, in Karn and I's last video, a ton of you guys had made suggestions for the teams we had picked for the original Digidestined. Some were great, others not so much. One quick clarification. These teams were picked by type. Not just because a Pokemon looked similar to a Digimon, though that is a consideration when picking these teams. Pokemon gym leaders, for the most part, stick to the type they specialize in. So we place that restriction on these teams as well. So no Matt with a Lycanroc or TK with a Togekiss. That will continue to be how we pick these teams going forward. But before we get to the 02 teams, I'm actually going to go back and adjust those original teams, based on some of your suggestions. In some Pokemon games, you can have a rematch with the gym leaders, so just kind of imagine these as their rematch teams. So one of the things that was suggested in the comments was giving these teams a fourth member. So each of these teams and the 02 ones will have 4 Pokemon instead of 3. So for Tai, we're just going to add Turtonator, as a visual reference to Wargreymon and the shield on its back. And the fact it is a dragon to reference the reptilian nature of the entire Agumon line. For Izzy, we're adding Scizor, as a reference to Mega Kabuterimon. Also, its Mega could work as another reference to Tyrant Kabuterimon. For Mimi, a lot of you guys said Lilligant or Hisuian Lilligant. So the thing here is, Hisuian Lilligant wasn't really a well-known Pokemon when we filmed this video, and on top of that, when we posted the video, it could be considered spoilery for some, but either would work as a great fourth member for Mimi's team. For Sora, we are adding Pidgeot. Generally, it just fits the vibe of her team, and Mega Pidgeot could also work as a reference to Ho-Homon. For a little extra spice, we're going to change Sora's Braviary to a Hisuian Braviary because the flames on its head match Birdramon. For Joe, Dugong and Lapras everywhere! Y'all were really passionate about Joe. But the thing is, Dugong and Lapras are both water and ice type. We already had Walrein on the team, so a team of 3 with 2 of them being water and ice type isn't very diverse, don't you think? And before you say it, yes, Lance has had 2 Dragonair and a Dragonite, and even 3 Dragonite on his team at some points. But don't you see how that's a little bit boring? Regardless of that, Joe's 4th Pokemon will be Lapras, as a reference to Plesiomon, an alternate evolution to Vikemon. Also, you know, I like Lapras, kinda cute. For TK and Kari, I'll explain later in the video, as they were a part of the 02 Digidestined. Finally, Matt. Matt. Y'all had some strong opinions on Matt. Dark, steel, fighting, rock, any other type but the one we picked. And even the type we did pick, you guys had some strong opinions on. I get it. Manectric and Boltund are electric dogs. You know what else? They don't look anything like Garurumon in comparison to Luxray. I mean, seriously, slap a dog snout on Luxray and then boom, Black Garurumon. We wanted a strong visual reference to Garurumon, which won over just having an electric dog. Manectric and Boltund just weren't strong enough references for a team of 3. But for a team of 4, we could definitely add Manectric. And we're going to switch out Zebstrika for Jolteon, because I feel it's a stronger electric dog reference than Boltund.
Also, we're going to make Toxtricity low-key form, because Matt plays the bass, not the electric guitar. Dum-dum, Brandon.
So now we've arrived at the 02 teams. Many of you wanted to see these guys as the Elite 4. But for the sake of creativity and getting to reuse types, I'm gonna make these guys into gym leaders as well. Think of it as a Kanto Johto kind of thing. The 02 kids had a wealth of options when it came to picking their teams. So while keeping it at a team of 4, I will talk about some alternate team picks that could be swapped in. So to start us off is Cody, who will be a ground type gym leader. His team would start with Sandslash, which is of course a reference to Armadillomon. Just visually and conceptually, these two are the closest equivalent to each other, especially Sandslash's pre-evolution, Sandshrew. Next would be Claydol, Shakumon, you get it. After that would be Swampert. This is the closest thing I could get to a Submarimon reference. A water and ground type pretty much sums up Submarimon. An armadillo that turns into a submarine. Mega Swampert helps this a bit, as it is more similar visually with the little whiskers on the side looking like Submarimon's ear things, and these little spots looking like Submarimon's mouth thing. Torterra could also work here instead as a reference to Ankylomon, given the visual similarities, and they are both based on Ankylosauruses? Ankylosaurus? I don't know which one. You tell me, paleontology community. Anyway, his ace would be Excadrill, which is a reference to Armadillomon's Digi-Egg of Knowledge evolution, Digimon. Both are drill-based and have drills on their face and arms. Simone is quaking. Also, I could have gone with Diglett here just for the pun, or even Rhyperior, but Excadrill just fits better in my opinion. Next up is Yoli, and she would obviously be flying type. The Hawkmon line is essentially Biomon 2.0, even to the point where they share evolutions. Like, Biomon can evolve into Ankylomon, and Ankylomon into Garudamon. So, kind of hard to avoid repeating the type and some Pokemon here. Starting Yoli's team would be Xatu, a reference to Hawkmon and Ankylomon's Native American influences in their design. Next up would be Braviary, which is actually an even better parallel to Ankylomon than it is to Garudamon. Though, in this team, it could also act as a reference to the fact Ankylomon can evolve into Garudamon. After that would be Delibird. This is purely based on design and coloration. I mean, look at Delibird next to Ankylomon and Halsamon. That coloration is very similar. And you could even stretch that Halsamon is the Digi-Egg of Love evolution, and Delibird gives gifts which spread love and good cheer. Maybe? Kinda? Yoli's ace would be Decidueye. Wait, hold up. That's not a flying type. Yes, I know. But for this specific case, I made an exception only because Decidueye evolves from a line of flying types, and has access to a lot of flying type moves because of that. Also, it's still a bird Pokemon, so... Decidueye is a dual reference to the Hawkmon line, as well as Hawkmon's Digi-Egg of Sincerity evolution, Shurimon, which works even further given the existence of Hisuian Decidueye that also has those Japanese influences like Shurimon. Ninjask could have also worked here as a Shurimon reference, but it kind of just doesn't go along with the whole bird theme we have for Yoli. Now let's talk about TK and Kari. For TK, I made a couple adjustments. One, getting rid of Claydol and instead giving it to Cody, and then adding Espeon in its place as another way to mirror Kari with her Sylveon. I also added Swoobat to his team as a reference to Patamon's Digi-Egg of Love evolution, Pippismon. For Kari, as many suggested, I took out Mimikyu and replaced it with Wigglytuff, which acts as a visual homage to Gatomon's Digi-Egg of Friendship evolution, Rabbitmon. And I added a Mon that was suggested a lot for TK, with that Mon being Togekiss. Togekiss would also work for Kari as a reference to the angelic nature of Gatomon's evolutions, and as a reference to Sylphimon and its evolution, Valkyrimon. Next up would be Ken, which is another one where a repeat type is just a must. There really isn't a way you could slice it where bug type doesn't make the most sense for Ken. So with that in mind, Ken would start with Beedrill. Weedle and Beedrill share visual similarities with Wormmon and Stingmon, and Stingmon's non-fusion evolution is dual Beemon. Also, Tiger Vespamon can be found in Wormmon's evolutionary tree, which is like if you took Beedrill and then turned it into sick Monster Hunter armor. Next on Ken's team would be Durant. This reflects Wormmon's Digi-Egg of Knowledge evolution, Searchmon, which shares a similar design aesthetic with Durant. After that would be Volcarona. This is a reference to yet another Digi-Egg evolution of Wormmon, Shadramon, which, if it wasn't clear, comes from the Digi-Egg of Courage. Ken's ace would of course be Yanmega. There is no better Stingmon reference than this guy right here. Same coloration, same terrifyingly huge insect vibe. Now for the gogglehead of the season, Davis, who would be a Dragon-type gym leader. I feel Dragon fits Davis better than it does Tai, because the Vmon line is more of a general Dragon Digimon, with access to both the Digi-Eggs of Courage and Friendship, and the Agumon line is more fire-themed. I will say, Davis would probably have to be the last gym leader, just because his team is packed with strong Pokemon. So starting off Davis's team would be Flygon. This refers to Davis's relationship with Ken and their Digimon. Also, an alternate fusion for X-Vmon and Stingmon is Dino Beamon, which kind of matches Flygon visually. And Flygon has goggles, just like Davis. Next on his team would be Turtonator. This refers to Flamedramon. You know, the dragon with flames all over it. And now with Turtonator also on Ty's team, it acts as an homage to Ty passing down the torch to Davis as the team leader. I wanted to have a reference to Rydramon here too, but the only non-legendary electric and dragon type is Dracozolt, and yeah, not exactly the same vibe. After Turtonator, Davis would have Duraludon, which is to match Magnamon, Veemon's Digi-Egg of Miracles evolution. They both have that same kind of blocky armor aesthetic to them, even though Duraludon isn't gold. David's ace would be Salamence. The entire Salamence line works as a parallel to the Veemon line super well, especially when comparing Salamence to Imperialdramon Dragon Mode. But wait, Brandon, that's only 6 gym leaders. There needs to be 8. Well, for this one, we're gonna have to head to the movies. Specifically, Digimon the Movie and Digimon Adventure Tri. In which we'll be using Angela and Akonda. I'm just kidding. We'll be using Willis and May. Willis would be normal type. His team would begin with Lopunny, which refers to his former partner Digimon Kokomon, which traditionally can evolve into Lopmon and several other rabbit-like Digimon. In that same vein, we have Diggersby, which can also be seen as a reference to Gargomon. After that would be Obstagoon. This reflects the evil side of Kokomon's evolutions like Wendigomon, and the evil versions of Antilamon and Cherubimon. Willis's ace would be Audino, which is a reference to the good Antilamon, and Mega Audino is a perfect parallel to the good version of Cherubimon, and could also be seen as a reference to the Digi-Egg of Destiny version of Rapidmon. May would be a Dark-type gym leader. Her team would begin with Morpeko, which alludes to Meicoomon and its tendency to switch between good and evil. Next would be Absol, which I feel generally fits the whole Harbinger of Tragedy vibe of the Meicoomon line. Also, Mega Absol would work as a great reference to our Dynamon. After that would be Incineroar, which is a fierce dark cat Pokemon, like Maycrackmon or Racielmon. And May's ace would be Grimmsnarl. This is a reference to Racielmon, but it is mostly a reference to Ordynmon, with both of their designs featuring hair prominently, with G-Max Grimmsnarl having a very similar World Ender, Dark Angel kind of energy, like Ordynmon. But those are my picks for if the 02 Digidestined were gym leaders. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and maybe what you would have done differently. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep up to date with future videos. And with that, I will see you guys next time.
Soup! Cool. Soup!